Hey, Christinablackfeather here again, and just doing the raspberry picking. This garden's being pretty productive, so doing some harvesting, and then I gotta cook supper tonight, get ready for work. But anyway, I thought today I would talk about a video. It's more of a response. Josh Strife Hayes does a lot of stuff about MMOs, and good ones and bad ones. He actually goes through Steam and plays all the bad ones and does his analysis of the bad MMOs. It's a lot of fun to watch. But one of his videos was about why he's had, sorry, that raspberry was gooey. He had a video about why MMOs are not fun anymore. And he was addressing comments from his viewers on that one. Because a lot of his viewers are, well, the MMOs just aren't fun anymore. Now, Josh is a role player. He also does tabletop gaming. And he asked some very interesting questions. He asked people to take a look at their, not just their favorite MMO, but what was their fondest memory playing an MMO. And, well, not just one memory, but what were the things that just really made you just go crazy, with things that stick out in your mind. And I had several of them, but I noticed they all kind of centered around role-playing. And like in Ultima Online, I had played that for probably 10 years. And even when my kids were little, yeah, I did spend a lot of time in the game, but I also made a lot of real-world money in the game. We were able to buy a new furnace and washer and dryer and things like that, because I was washing clothes with a wringer washer and a garden hose. No joke. So, yeah, Ultima Online I had done a lot of years, and my current husband, he played it too. But I played a lot more, and I was a lot more intense in it. And it wasn't just the money making for me. Mind you, that was really nice. I had alliances with several PvP guilds, and had a lot of friends that I had made. And yeah, I got ganked quite a bit, I mean, that was just nature of it. I played both, when Tramiel came out, I played both Tramiel and Felucca. And so I had stores in both. I had a store in a very prominent location on the Chesapeake server, and played it a lot. And I had these alliances with these PvP groups. Since I was supplying them, they, a lot of them would leave me alone. But it wasn't just the PvP. It was that we'd actually get together and role play. And we were writing out stories with our characters and with each other. Be careful not to squish the berries. It was a lot of role play that we did. And we'd get on forums and share posts, and Lord Ed McManus, I still remember his name, would do animations and stuff, and we had an entire story evolve around the animations and around these characters. And it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of being really heavily involved, and that just made the experience so exciting. I'm gonna weed at the same time here. There was a huge amount of involvement, but the game started kind of going kaput, and I sold off my accounts, sold off the towers, had one person screw me over big time, but that was the nature of the game, unfortunately. And yeah, there were times I got my account hacked, and EA or Origin at the time, they restored my account and had taken me, the GM had actually taken me out to where the location of my one house was that I lost, and it was like my second house, and I had invested a lot of time decorating and everything. All my decorations and everything were still up, and so I got my house back and everything. But these people in these guilds were actually very involved in making sure that I did get things back. And then, of course, the role-playing guild that I was in, too, we made into part of the story. And the whole thing was that the fun in the game was based around RP, around role-play. And I'd have time periods where I'd be out training my nightmare to battle, and we'd use the kill command, but you'd have a kill command and then you'd have a target. And there were several times that I accidentally targeted myself. Several times. So I'd be walking through Moonglow as a ghost, and if you typed as a ghost, you'd be going ooh, 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 and this became a regular thing, and the GMs would just laugh about it, because unfortunately that happened a lot. And it was just these little things. One GM found out I was afraid of spiders, so he summoned a whole bunch of spiders inside of Moonglow, and I was this raid of giant spiders. I mean, that was the nature of it. I think I just threw dirt in my bowl. It was just lots of fun overall. And I miss that. I do miss it. And Josh is right that you end up looking for the same experience in these games. Another thing he was right about is a lot of these times, it isn't the game that's changing, it's you, it's your life circumstances, and everything else. I was actually home a little bit more. And because I was making cash, besides having fun, I got to be home more than I do now. And so it changed my gaming experience quite a bit. Now, step into World of Warcraft, and I just got dirt all over my lettuce too. And the MMO settings, the one thing that was different between World of Warcraft and Ultima is that the players actually could change the world. Not only did we have a pretty stable housing system, which I haven't found in any game since. I mean, Mabinogi is terrible with their housing. And that was an experience. But if you had an event where it was a player run event and players would actually alter the landscape in the story, that the programmers would turn around and permanently alter the story. Like on the Chesapeake server where I played the most, there was a town called Paxlair, which was a player town. And so the game developers actually turned around and built a town there and named it Paxlair because that's what the players did. And so I had a couple towers next to each other in Paxlair, and I ran my business there and everything. And, it was real. It made the experience more real. And I haven't found that since. There's only so much that you can really do gaming-wise in, like, Minecraft and things like that. You can't have an MMO where there's a giant world where everybody, can change it. You can only have so many people per server and everything else. And the thing is about Ultima Online is I remember my first PvP experience. I got ganked. It was like it wasn't even ganked. It was one player, a red. It was like my first week playing. And I was starting to get into the game because I had played the Ultima series, which was a standalone. And I had just bought a horse. And I didn't quite know the PvP experience yet, because, I'd only been playing a week. So that was a new thing for me. And came up, and as soon as I had left Britain, I got killed right out, about 2 screens away from the gate. And I was really upset because I had a horrible day at work. I just wanted to relax. I just wanted to explore. I love exploration. That's my big thing, besides the stories. And when he killed me, I was really, really upset. And, of course, he did his laughing about it. And fireworks. I went and do. Anyway, I went and I said to him that I'd had a really bad day and I just want to explore and relax. I was really upset, and I said, I've had a horrible day at work. I didn't need this today. I just got this horse, and I've only been playing a week. So the guy got on his alternate character because a red couldn't get in town. And he bought me a new horse and got me some base gear, just cheap shit, but it worked. Oh, I swore, YouTube gods. So I remember that. I remember where I was on the map, and even though, that was not a fun experience, it still was, it was part of the experience of the game. And when it came to World of Warcraft, I had a guild there, the Free Merchant Society on Mucknathal, and we did a lot of roleplay too. We just had my guild, we still went through, and we did the instances and all of that, but we still roleplayed, and it was a lot of fun. When Thrall, when they changed the story where he became in love with a human druid or something like that, our characters were like, this is such an insult to our people, because most of us were Tauren. And we played Tauren. We role played it. My husband's character, Motekazoma, and my character, Ciuacoatl, the snake woman, and the king of, or the, ruler of the Aztecs. And so we played Tauren like that, because in Neverwinter Nights we'd also set up an entire orc culture that was starting to be based on Aztec culture, and it worked out really well. And there again, Neverwinter was not an MMO at the time. It was individual hosted worlds, and so you could role play, and the worlds were persistent. You could be on any time. And that was the nice thing about the way we played World of Warcraft too. It was the fact of the group of people that we had together. And one of my experiences that I remember, two of them going through Warcraft, was Darrowshire, and experiencing the story of Darrowshire and playing through the entire thing. And that was cool. That story was really, really cool. And then when they opened up Icecrown, and you got into the story of how things came to be, and the one human general died and stuff like that, and it was so incredibly written. And that was my favorite time period in World of Warcraft. And my kids also played. We had 4 computers running at once, and we'd be doing raids together. And so the RP group, we kind of left the kids out of it. They knew who my kids' characters were. So any adult themed stuff, as far as I don't know if anybody did any naughty things, but adult themed as far as storylines that could be really upsetting and traumatic were not done in front of the children. And so we actually did have a few more other than my kids in there, and it still was a great experience. And we'd RP going through the instances and everything, and it was just so much fun. And even in Mabinogi, which is a Nexon game, that one too, I've had some great RP experiences with my husband in that one. Although even though that one is, if you want to craft anything really good or anything, it's a pay to win. It really is. But that's a lot of those Korean games are like that. That actually looks better today. So yeah, I haven't played Mabinogi in a while, and I kind of miss that too, but I've been out of it so long that I don't have a group of people to actually play with. And I was writing stories about my character in there too, and I don't have that anymore, because in part, as Josh said, has it been your lifestyle that's changed? And in my case, yes, it has. I just don't have the time for that anymore. And I think that is the downfall. He's right. That's the downfall of role-playing games for older players. I don't know if that one's lemongrass or regular grass. I think that's regular. So yeah, I've actually fallen victim to that. And good grief. And I'm not going to be reliving experiences like that role-playing. And even when I'm solo playing, even Diablo, I'll go and verbally respond to comments that, the Templar makes, or the scoundrel. I've determined the Templar is a drunk. So I kind of RP a little bit that way too. We have a robin. And it kind of takes care of a little bit of the loneliness. But that's the thing, it's a new generation of players now, and the games are being set for these new generations of players. I don't like the way World of Warcraft went, but I don't want to start a new character in the classic. I miss my old character, and she's even got items that can't be replaced or can't be found anymore from events past. Like before Wrath of the Lich King, they had an event where there was a special suit. I farmed that suit. I still have it. I don't want to start over. And right now, I don't want to pay the monthly fee either. If things change, I might. Or I might get back into Mabinogi. But I have to realize that I'm a solo player now. And I do have a tabletop RPG group. So that'll satisfy that need. But that's why the game has changed for me. That's why it's not fun for me anymore. There's still elements that are fun, but it's not the same. And, how long has it been since Ultima Online was popular? I mean, that was before World of Warcraft. And how long has World of Warcraft been around? And there was, like, even in Neverwinter, there was a lot of personal drama that became part of the stories and everything. And I don't know if I want to deal with that anymore either. There's a lot of younger players, and it would be very uncomfortable for me to get into role-playing some of these stories. Keep in mind, not even sexual aspects of any stories, but they're just RP, and some of the themes and some of the things that we did back in the day. I don't know if I'd be comfortable doing that with a younger generation. Neverwinter Nights, I role-played serial killers, I role-played drone matrons, I had characters and scenes and things that are very triggering. And yeah, I can't anymore. The games have changed. The players have changed. The demographics have changed. That's what the word I was looking for. And I don't fit in those demographics anymore. So now it's time to pave my own way. And Josh had said to try a game that you haven't tried before as an MMO and start fresh and see how you feel about it. And try it as an RP and see what happens. So that could be entirely possible. I've played EVE Online as RP, but not anymore because I don't feel like losing things that have real life value and getting ganked and losing it all, because they're very PvP now. Let's see, what else have I played? It's MMO. Not a whole lot more. So yeah, maybe it's time for me to find something new and exciting. I do miss Mabinogi. I might just get back into that someday, but I don't know. Legends of Aria might be a good option. There's one Icarus Online, but it's all in Russian, and I'm thinking of actually downloading the a Russian language pack and then get on to Duolingo and start learning some Russian and then try playing that one maybe. I don't know. Let's see what the future is, but right now I'm just too busy to get into a MMO where I have to be on frequently. So, yeah, that's it. And I gotta go and get supper going. So anyway, you guys have a great night. Blessed be everyone.